Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from SkiEssentials.com. Welcome to our 2026 ski test. Today we're talking about this brand new Blizzard Stormbird 82 DTI. Stormbird skis are really interesting. Basically what they've done is kind of piggybacked off the Thunderbird collection and made these kind of like, sort of like stepping stone skis. Their performance is, you could say, just one notch below the Thunderbird skis, and that's really nice because those Thunderbird skis are truthfully, they're pretty aggressive. They're built very close to race skis, and they can be kind of a handful if you don't have the skill set or if you don't like ski really fast all the time. If you want something that performs very similarly but a little bit more approachable, this Stormbird 82 DTI is awesome. And when you start to look at it on paper, there's really not a huge difference between this ski and the Thunderbird R15 82, the non-LTD version. So it's like a pretty nice kind of linear progression from Stormbird 82 DTI to the Thunderbird R15 82 to then the Thunderbird R15 82 LTD. I do think it's a pretty flat, or not flat, but pretty linear relationship in performance between those three skis. So 3 82 underfoot integrated binding kind of wider front side skis, and you can just choose which one matches your ability level and also your demands, because it's not just 100% ability level. You could have an expert skier that actually prefers this ski, similarly as you could have like a really aggressive high-level intermediate that feels a little bit better on the Thunderbird. So it's not black and white on who should choose which ski, but I still think it's nice that you get all those choices. So True Blend wood core in this ski, it's True Blend pieced, and then I think they add like SP to the name of the True Blend wood core in this ski because it is a little bit different than the core in the Thunderbirds, which is important because if it was the same, then it would be largely the same ski. And then DTI stands for double titanal, I assume, dual titanal. There's 2 sheets of metal in this ski. So that's what I mean about the build of this ski is very close to those Thunderbird skis, but it's not quite the same, slightly different binding situation. We don't get that active armor, the extension of the carbon fiber. So it is actually the same binding itself that's on the Thunderbird R15 82, but they're just taking a few things away here and there to make the ski a little bit more compliant. And you can feel it when you flex it. You know, it's still a pretty stiff ski, but it does have a slightly rounder flex pattern than those Thunderbirds do. And then for shape here, put it together. Shape is pretty darn similar to Thunderbirds as well. So camber underfoot, there's really not much rocker in the tips and tails. I think they say that there's rocker, but to me there's not really rocker. This is a 175, and in this length we get that 15-meter turn radius that we get in the Thunderbirds as well. So largely very similar skis, and don't overthink it. You know, if you're kind of choosing between the 3, I know it can be confusing, and then throw in the Anomaly 84 and all of a sudden you've got 4 skis that are within 2 millimeters of each other in width, and like, how should I choose which one? Trust your instincts. You know, I think like if you don't think that you need the performance of the Thunderbirds, then you probably don't. If you're on the fence about it, I'd say you'd probably be fine on the Stormbird 82 DTI here. I mean, again, this is a wood core sandwich construction ski with 2 sheets of metal. Like, it's no slouch. It's not like this is the low-level intermediate ski and then the Thunderbirds are the good ones. That's not the right way to think about it at all. So yeah, just trust your instincts. It was fun to get a lot of people on these skis and Thunderbirds too this season. They've really grown this segment of their skis from Blizzard. And Benny got on this thing at our ski test, and I really enjoyed his response to it because he said, I'm going to paraphrase because I don't remember exactly word for word, but he said that it felt good at high speeds, that you could trust it at high speeds. You know, 2 sheets of metal in there, pretty stiff. It's going to be damp. It's going to be smooth. It's going to be supportive at high speeds. But he said that it performed really well at slow speeds too. And like, that's great feedback. And that's not something that we saw as prominently in feedback on, say, the Thunderbird R15 82 LTD, the top of the line ski. That one feels like it wants some speed. It really starts to feel good when you get it up to higher speeds. So take that into consideration too. If you're mostly skiing groomers and you don't ski that fast, then why not stay right here in Stormbird? Because you'll just be a little bit more comfortable. The ski will be a little bit easier to manipulate, to get it to make different turn shapes. So it's a really good ski. And my concern, just with like human nature and how we look at products and all those things, with the success of the Thunderbird skis and like, you know, I don't know that they get a lot of hype, but say they get a decent amount of hype. I just hope that the Stormbirds don't kind of get mentally stuck as lesser skis. Like, sure, they're lesser skis, but it's a really good ski, and lesser is not like the best way to think about it. They're different. Every skier is different, and Blizzard has given you 3 or arguably 4 different options depending on how fast you like to ski, the terrain you like to ski, and all those different factors. So definitely let us know if you have any questions. I totally understand how it could be challenging deciding between them, but happy to help. Just happy to have awesome skis from Blizzard too. They did a really good job. The Thunderbird line is great, and the Stormbird line is great too. So let us know if you have any questions, and we will see you out there on the slopes.